build today. We're going to be starting a series where we're going to do a bunch of starter stuff, starter builds, helping. There's a lot of new players out, a lot of returning players. So first thing we're going to do a skill build. It's a starter build. It's really easy. Autopilot, auto turret. You really don't have to do much. You can and do more damage, but you can pretty much do all the content except legendary and the raid with this build. And optimally, you can do a lot more. And we're talking PvE, of course. I want to take this in a dark zone. It might not be too wise. This is actually a really good build because we're going to be using both turrets, the striker drone as well as the assault turret. Exceptionally good single target. AoE, not that good, but you can focus fire any target you want. And I rarely get in trouble unless my turret and my drone is gone, dead, or off cooldown. So you'll just be noticing, you'll be staggering a lot. And with what we got going on with the new season and stuff, the new directives, I think that's going to be happening a lot. And this build really is not that difficult. If you can make it through the tutorial and the first mission, then you can handle this build and you are going to excel extremely well. Just a generally low skill ceiling, but just the damage potential is ridiculous in this thing. With this build optimally done, you're going to be able to do everything solo. That means solo heroic missions, solo checkpoint 4, heroic, the whole thing. You're just not going to be able to do legendary and all that other high-end stuff. But when you get it right out of the gate, this is something easily farmed. Like you can go out, go to targeted loot and farm this thing in 20 minutes and you're able to do challenging checkpoint 3s, challenging missions solo, and you're able to carry your weight without breaking a sweat at all. Alright, so let's dive right into this build. So we're going off with the technician specialization. You can choose other ones like demolition. You might be doing fire starter, but it doesn't really matter because we're just doing pure skill damage. That's all we want. A little skill haste, but it doesn't really matter. We want pure skill damage. Technician is great because it's got an extra skill tier, so we could run 5 pieces of skill tier and then 1 piece of armor because we're probably going to be running glass cannon, so we might be a little squishy, so something helps. Or if you just feel like you're too tanky and you want to run some more weapon damage, a red piece, you can take it down that way. The best thing we really want from this tree is the skill damage and that skill tier, and then you can grab whatever else you want, but immediately grab those 2. And then if you're running any directives where you don't have no ammo, the maximum's nice because you can just pop out a turret, pop out drone, whatever it may be. All right, now we're looking into gear sets. So what we're going to be running is 3-piece Mirakami. Is that how you say it? I don't know if that's how you say it, but we're just going to be running skill haste, skill damage, and prioritizing skill damage. Skill haste, not that important, but we really don't have anything else to pick. I'm just going to be running skill haste mods because that's the best thing you can do. Starting tomorrow, it'll be TU11, so you could honestly put an armor on kill or anything in there. Just try to keep your turret and everything under like 20 seconds is ideally. And this is just a starter build, so you can see there's repair skills. We're not going to be repairing anything at all, but it has that skill damage, and the skill duration can't hurt with all the extra things we're going to be rolling into there. And then we're also going to be picking up the 2-piece of the Hannah, and just for that skill damage and that skill haste. Now you can run glass cannon. I prefer glass cannon. It's really the only thing you can do for just a pure skill damage build. So you're going to be a little squishy, but we can offset that in other ways if you feel like it. But you're so far back and you're just taking pop shots just to keep certain buffs up. It's really not that big of an issue. And finally, we got the 1-piece of the Wyvern. Wyvern just great. 1 piece, 10% skill damage. We got the skill damage, the skill haste. We're rocking. That's all we really need to worry about. And just stacks as much skill damage as we can get into this build. Alright, so as long as we have all those pieces, it doesn't matter where they go. We just want to make sure we have certain perks in our backpack and in our chest. Make sure you got glass cannon in the chest. It's just 25% extra damage. We're not going to be really pushing or doing anything. Our turrets, our drone is going to be doing everything for us. And then when it comes to the backpack, you have many choices. I'm running combined arms. I would suggest tech support combined arms. You have to just completely always shooting, and tech support, you get a kill with one of your skills, and it gives you that 20% damage buff. It's a little less damage, but you can literally just autopilot, just throw your turret up there, let your drone go wild, and just chill out and just wait for it to say, oh, finished. All right, let's go. Off to the next one. Now, if you are feeling like super squishy, you can always go Adrenaline Rush. It's not really a good deal for skill builds, but what I would do is pick up Bloodsucker, and it's just every time you get a kill, you get 10% bonus armor. So it kind of works the same. Sometimes you can just be sitting there and you may have no health because of glass cannon, but you're just full on bonus armor. So it's a nice, easy way to get through everything. I prefer tech support, but I'm using combined arms. That's what I got to deal with. It is what it is. Now for gear wise, ideally you'd want to run 5, because we're running technician, so we have that free skill tier. Ideally you'd want to run 5 yellow pieces and 1 armor piece, but I don't have the 1 armor piece, so I just went and run with 6. You'll be fine. You're not really losing anything. Can't really talk, but let's keep going. So you can see I'm just running skill haste and just skill damage. All the way down. That's the only thing I really care about, doing that. And we have our weapons, everything else is modifiers, our backpack, stuff like that. We're just trying to boost our skill damage. And let me tell you, those turrets are going wild, and they just destroy everything, just melt. And when you buff them with your weapons, with certain perks and talents, it just goes through the roof, and it's like doing nothing. You can either autopilot and take a little extra time, or you can help, and it'll go a little faster. But no matter what, everything is dying. It's just a matter of time. All right, now we get into the fun stuff. Weapons. I am using some name weapons, but you do not have to. But I would highly recommend these talents on the weapons. They're amazingly OP. One more than other. Perfectly in sync. It's called in sync on regular weapons. And regular weapons, it's 15% skill damage for each. So when you shoot with your gun, your turret gets 15% skill damage, and when they shoot and damage something, your weapon gets 15. So when they're both together, you get double that, and you get 30. With the harmony, you get 40%, which is quite an insane amount. So all you got to do is just keep firing, one shot every 5 seconds. Even with all the directives, like having no ammo, like you can handle doing one shot every 5 seconds. It's really good. And then you honestly don't even need the other weapon, but it's always nice if you need a little extra burst. You have a big tank guy, big heavy, and you just need to get rid of him. You got the Surge on the other, and we're just doing headshots grant 25% skill damage for 15 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get one headshot and then swap over to our harmony and just keep nailing them. And when that drops off, switch over, get one more headshot, and we got that 25% from the Surge, and then we also got 40%. The multiplying just starts getting crazy, and you honestly don't even need to use the Surge half the time. I don't even use it. I just spam the harmony stats. Mine is decently rolled, but you really don't need anything. All you need is that buff active, and that just like supercharges your drone and your turret, and you just start going out of control. Now, if we're going to be running any mods, like I said, it just depends on the update tomorrow, TU11. Every mod's going to be generic for your backpack, your mask, and your chest. So you could put armor and kill in, or you can just do skill haste. I would just suggest keep those turret cooldowns under 20 seconds, and you should be in the clear. Now, for the other mods, for your skills and stuff, well, you're just going to be running skill haste, and anything that modifies damage, whatever gives you most damage, that's all that really matters. We just care about raw damage. We don't care about status effects. We don't care about anything else, just that raw skill damage. We want to get as much skill damage as we can, and that way our ticks are hitting faster than any bleed or any burn can do in the game right now. And it's a beautiful scene. All right, now we can get into skills. So we're going to be running pretty simple stuff. It's not that hard to use. And if you can click any button on your keyboard, you can handle this build. We're going to be using Assault Turret skill. It's really easy. You just put it down and it just murders everything in place. It's really amazing. You really don't need any mods for any of this, but skill damage, stuff like that, mods, skill haste mods, they do help in the long run. And we're also going to be running running the striker drone, and that little baby just goes around spitting hell everywhere, and you just pop it. Ideally you want to pop this one like 15-20 seconds before, so they're always like, you never want both of them on cooldown, because with this build, when everything's on cooldown and the NPCs start rushing you, it could be a bad day. You might survive, but usually it ends up being a pretty rough. All right, so the best way we're going to be playing this build, basically playing this rotation for the build, is we're going to want to keep our drone, our turret, you want to always on cooldown, turret always wherever there's a lot of enemies. So if you're doing CP, or you know a bunch of enemies are going to rush to this door like happens in missions, you're going to want to keep your turret posted up there. And what you're going to be using, you're going to use your Harmony or whatever gun that has in sync. Just keep that up, keep that on the enemy, so you always have that extra damage and it just never stops rolling through. And on the Surge, you can basically pop the headshots if you want. You really don't need it, but just pop. If you're having trouble, there's a big tank rushing you, pull out the Surge, pop a headshot, and just keep railing him with the Harmony, and you should be good to go. I really never have any trouble, and honestly, if I feel like I'm going to be trouble, just plop that turret right next to you and nothing will hurt you or harm you ever again. Now, since this was a starter build, we're going to want to build into this, and we already got the Harmony and the Surge. Those are guns that you would like to have and try building towards for this build to be optimal. Like I said, it can't go into legendaries, but it can go damn near close. What I would do, the next step I would take, would just get rid of this Murakami and just switch out 3-piece of the hardwired. Basically hardwired because we have that skill haste and we have skill damage. Repair skills we don't really care about, but it's just all that extra skill haste. We're going to have extra skill damage, and we're just going to be pumping out even more. Just that extra bit of damage does wonders, and we'll have a lot better rolls. And just make sure you don't use any gear sets, the green gear sets, on your chest or your backpack, because that's just not good. You're not gonna be able to run glass cannon, and we're not using the 4-piece at all, so it doesn't affect us. So try to go for tech support, combined arms for max damage, tech support for laziness, and just always run glass cannon unless something changes with TU11. But I think glass cannon is just gonna stay there for skill builds, but we will see. And that's it for the build, guys. If you like it, let me know. If you see something, make it better. You can change it easier, but all this stuff can be farmed in like 20 minutes, guys. So you should be able to do this very easily. So if you've been struggling with doing heroics, challenging, anything, it doesn't matter your skill level, this can be a perfect build for you. You can be able to go out there and get all the gear you need, and you can figure out where I want to be, what I want to do, what build I want to go. Do I want to be running gun, or do I actually love these skill builds? But I will see you guys next time. You have a great day, and I hope you enjoy the new season.